We're just rolling laughing. It's good.
Energetically, I feel in charge because it's my Riverside. So it's like, I don't know if we're going to go that direction, Miles. I was thinking more.
You have the power. It's actually more fun.
So what I love about being a powerful bald guy, since you didn't ask, is
I know. Welcome back to the Miles Ed podcast through your podcast. Either way, we got it to work. Technology is the bane of my existence, so it proves this point once again. All right. So back on track. Glad the audio is working finally. Today is a very special guest who I've felt privileged to get to know better, Mr. Traver Boehm. If you don't know who he is, welcome back from underneath the rock you've been living under. He's the founder of Man Uncivilized, the movement, and it's mostly for men, but you've got some women coming in now too, and you got your first women's retreat coming up. Is that right?
That is correct. Although I will tell you, we're shifting back to just all in on men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We ran this as an experiment, had good feedback on it. But when I was in the dark, I just saw men need a space that's all ours. We need a conversation that's all ours, and don't dilute it.
That's fair. Yeah. I could tell it'd be a struggle, especially in today's culture when it's like, we want to get rid of the gender wars and like balance things out. But
yeah,
men we're behind in ways or being neglected in ways. And it's blasphemy to say it these days, but there's a lot of truth to that.
True.
And what you're doing and Connor Beaton, I think you two are like, and then of course Michael Gay and Dewey Freeman are our sensei, really doing the most for men that I've seen. Maybe Chris Williamson a little bit, adjacently, although he has a wide range of guests. But I really appreciate you two because you're really pushing this message, and it's not like one of the million different rainbow pills out there that guys talk about. I don't even know what they are. Like, too many pills, man. Thanks for not being the uncivilized pill and like just being your raw, real relational, which I really appreciate.
Thank you.
So you just came out of, once again, a darkness retreat, which,
yeah.
By the way, thank you for sending the advanced copy to me, which I burned a whole ream of ink on right here. I tabbed the shit out of it. Don't worry, I'm not asking you all questions in this tab because we'd be here for 4 hours. Some of that's for me because this book, plus I dug into this one for the first time today I read. And I know that's just about people breaking up, but it's also about pain. And we were talking the other day and it was a helpful conversation. People on this podcast know what I've been going through. These two books have really helped me right now get through what I'm going through. So it's sort of synchronistic. But you really outdid yourself with this book. I mean,
thank you.
It comes out tomorrow for everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
Probably when they hear this podcast, it will be out. Your other books are like right into the point, good, 2-3 page chapters. Your Man Uncivilized book is sort of like a field manual you could carry around. It's really on point. This one though, it's like in depth, like really freaking good, really freaking
Thank
good.
you.
And you are an amazing writer. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Let's see, where should I head off from here? I got so many damn questions. I was back at Naropa when I was going to Naropa. I would talk to my teachers who had meditation instructors who were monks, and they would say the darkness retreats or advanced level, like you got to work up to them. We do month-long retreats as part of our program, and those are hard enough. Yeah, like 7 hours a day, about broken up in chunks. Those are hard enough. I can only imagine what it's like in the dark. And then I was listening to a podcast with, have you heard of Reggie Ray before? You got to have him on because he's big in our field. He's like a Buddhist Yoda guy. He's wrote a couple books. They're really good. He's done darkness retreats and he's talked about them. He was big on campus. So I think he'd be a cool guy for you to have on just to compare notes about your experiences. he's coming at it from a Buddhist lens. And I guess you kind of did too with some Jungian lens as well. What you talked about in the book really came out. Thought that was pretty cool. And in 49 days in Buddhism is the bardo. And if people don't know what that is, it's from when you die and you go into reincarnation. Was that chosen specifically for that, or was that just, I want to do 49 days?
I didn't know that was the bardo. I knew when the very first man who explained this concept to me said, that's the prescription. 49 days is the standard protocol to do this. Then kind of like running a marathon. It's 26.5 miles. If you're going to run a quote marathon, you do that distance. And then here in the West, or for other reasons, perhaps even in Buddhist traditions, not everybody has 49 days. So they will break it up. Or facilities that are now open to the West, where it's not monks who are going in to do this practice, it's lay people, it's normal civilians, let's call them. They may want to try 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, etc. And I think now that, and I have no issue with this, but there's a consumeristic aspect. If the only thing that was ever offered was a 49-day retreat, no one would do it. And I understand why completely. So I chose it, Miles, first because when I first heard about it, that was the call. Do this. And I said, like, I've already scheduled a 28-day, having no idea the intensity and the immensity of that length of time. I never would have survived 49 days the first time. I remember coming out of 28 days and was such a mess, emotionally, mentally, physically, and thought I probably should have come out about 5 days ago. That's when things got really hairy. That's when things got even more hairy than hairy, let's say. And so for this particular retreat, I chose 49 because I wanted to do the full thing. I wanted to run the full marathon. I wanted to see, one, what was on the other side of day 28, day 29, day 30, things I just didn't have an experience of. And I wanted to go take the full dose and be one of the few people who's done that, not as a egoic challenge to, put the plaque on my wall, but to say, there's something here. There's an experience here that few men have gone through. I think I can do this. I don't know if I can do it. There's an element of perhaps even Western egoic, like standard dude, like, can you do it? I don't know. Let's fucking figure it out. Like some of that American male in me, athletic, like, I don't know. Let's see. But those are really my choices. And I can say this to you, when I felt the call to do it again, a year and a half ago or whenever it was, it came through as, and you've got to do the full thing. So it wasn't like, go dip your toe back in the dark. Go spend another week back in the dark. Go through the full experience. That's what landed in my body.
Yeah. If you go with an ego expectation, man, I think reading your book will crush your ego. Ego can last for a couple of days, and then it's kaput.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I went in confident, Miles, until I look at my arm, I just got chills. Woo! Till I sat down with Arpita, the woman who was guiding me. Maybe I got there a day and a half ahead of time. And so I got there in the afternoon. It was like dinner, full day, dinner, go in. And I was just sitting with her, and she's trying to remind me of the intensity of this undertaking, and saying, I just want you to know. And she was saying it as in, like, it's okay to not do it. Not trying to talk me out of it, but trying to remind me that I'm allowed to leave anytime. And she did that by telling me of seasoned meditators, of seasoned dark retreaters, of people that come here every single year, year after year after year, and then try to do a 49-day and tap out early. Not on day 38, 39, 40, 41, but on day 7, day 9, day 10, because of the intensity and the weight of the darkness that's weighing upon them. If that makes sense. It's like, would you tap out in a 3-mile run in mile 1? Probably not. But if I said, hey, you have to run 1,000 miles, but you can quit anytime, I think a lot of people would tap out on mile 1 and be like, F this, I can't do this 1,000 more times. So I remember sitting there on her couch being like, oh shit. The sort of the enormity of it, like landing back in me and I had no fucking idea what I was in for. But that was a very real moment.
Yeah.
Of recognizing maybe I'm not going to make this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I totally see that coming up. You might have made it as a Navy SEAL though, because like, you know, team guys and have buds, and they can ring the bell anytime they want to. And it reminded me when you went to the front door and touched the key, that you could let yourself out at any moment. And I was like, God, that's the same as buds. Like, I could just ding when done anytime I want to. But imagine, you know, for team guys, it's really seductive. You can just end it right there. And the kind of instructors are kind of like, oh, why don't you just have some coffee? You know, it's real easy to quit. Let's go get a warm blanket. I don't know if this is for you. You know, they kind of try to talk you out of it. I'm sure your own mind was the buds instructor, like, yeah, man, we could just go get a hot meal right now and say we did 7 days or whatever.
I'll tell you, Miles, truthfully, it was the opposite. And for the first 3 days, I had an issue. I'm allergic to wheat. So I was like gluten-free before gluten-free was trendy. And in Europe, I have no problem with the bread, with the pasta, with whatever. But here in America, since we just get fed poison, it's a bit more challenging. And so the night before I went in, I had dinner with Arpita and her husband, and they had a big loaf of bread on the table. This is in Italy. And I was like, I'm not going to get bread for another 50 days. I'm going to eat that whole fucking thing. And just chow, like, and they're feeding it's vegan food, so I'm not getting the caloric intake. So I just
like that.
Yeah. I'm out. So I just pounded a loaf of bread and then got in there and was like, man, I can't breathe. For a day, it felt like I was breathing through a straw. And that's sort of my reaction to gluten is I'll have like an asthmatic issue. And I remember lying there going, holy shit, what if this isn't the bread or what I ate? What if there's something in the room? There's a mold, there's something they clean with, there's the products on the sheets. Can I make 49 days essentially breathing through like a coffee straw? If my entire breath to breath is like, you can breathe, you can do this, could I do that for 7 weeks? And I was like, there's no way. One, my system's going to crash. I'm going to get sick. You know, I'm going to like have to stick my head out the door and take a full breath. And that lasted for 3 days. And for those 3 days, I had so much anxiety thinking, I'm going to tap, go outside, and people will be like, you made it 72 hours? Like, there's all this buildup and you didn't even make it past like the weekend?
28 days before.
Like, you should have just slept. And then having to say like, no, I couldn't breathe, but it wouldn't matter. People would just think, oh, you quit. And then on day 4, whatever it was, my system cleared and I was back. And I remember thinking a huge weight has been off my shoulders of, oh, I don't have to quit now. And there's a couple other instances where like if you want the story,
yeah, for sure.
On day 17, and this is like a little bit of bro science stuff, so I think your audience will appreciate it. Arpita, it was a Friday. She would come in on day 10, day 17, day 24, clean the room, see if I lost anything, do a little mental health check on me. And she came in and left. And they had a meditation nook in the corner of the space, which was concrete, maybe like 18 inches off the ground, 16 inches off the ground, with like a stool there. And underneath it, you could put a mat, you could put stuff. So I'm elevated, sitting on a meditation mat. leaning back against the wall and was like, wow, she came in. That was awesome. I had some human interaction. I'm going to meditate. And I meditated and I was like, I'm a little bit bored. Let me do some breath work. Now, I have this thing, especially in the dark, where if I take a deep breath and like push my chest forward, I can essentially be a 14-year-old back in junior high who's just inhaled a can of Whippets out of like a whipped cream can. And I get super dizzy and the room lights up and it's fun as hell. And I'm like, woohoo, something to do, right? So I'm like, I'll do this. It's fun. And I did it. And I've like had this quick flash of light and it felt like I was holding a phone and there was like fireworks in the room. I was like, okay, do it again, do it again, do it again. So I took a deep breath, like flexed my chest open. And then the next thing I knew, I kind of remember feeling hitting my head. And I kind of remember convulsing heavily on the floor and wondering in for like 3 to 5 seconds of pure panic, terror. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Why am I shaking? What's going on? Why does my head hurt? Touching my head, tasting it, like, why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? What just happened? And I'd blacked out sitting there doing a 5 second breath hold. But for some reason, the thoracic pressure and the pressure something, Arpita also said, because you're close to the veil is thin at night and in the room, to put it Jungian, I passed out, smacked my head on the concrete floor, cut it open, and woke up in the dark, having to navigate all of that. And for a moment, this is to bring it back to your initial question, I thought, shit, what if I have to get out of here? What if if I puke tonight? I don't want to be in here alone, concussed, right? My head isn't bleeding heavily, but it's cut. Like, what if I had fallen further and had to get stitches? So I had to sit there and kind of calm myself down and say, don't worry, you don't have to leave. Which is a weird mind fuck when I'm counting the days, counting the hours, counting the minutes to the moment I can get back out, dance in a shower, eat a steak, and listen to a book, or listen to some music. So it's that weird juxtaposition. So no, I didn't want to leave. I was terrified. There's another story which I'll share probably years from now where I actually needed Arpita's help. And I was in such a bad place that morning. Like I'd gone through so many somatic traumatic experiences, like pre-verbal stuff, and I was like yelling in the room, like, if you can hear me, come get me. If you can, I need help, someone come fucking help me. And an hour later she came down, and I remember thinking, if I ask for help and she sees me, she's gonna make me leave. Mm-hmm. So fuck it, I'm okay. I like put myself back together and was like, you're okay, you don't need help, you don't need help, you don't need help. So there was more anxiety about the whole point of this section of the conversation. There was more anxiety about not finishing than leaving early.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's some mental toughness as well. I mean, you got to take what you learned from the first one into this one, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a long time, man.
It's a long time, brother. I can't tell you. It's a long fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, 28 days is long enough. I mean, Aaron Rodgers and Marcus Aubrey, they did like 6 days, and that was hard for them. Pretty good, but so you were saying the first go was hardest towards the very, very end, the last few days?
Yeah. The difference between the two rooms was dramatic. The first dark retreat I did was in Guatemala in a concrete hut. The bedding was so uncomfortable I couldn't sleep. I'd only had someone come in once at the halfway point at the 14-day mark, where here, because it was a longer experience, she wanted to come in every 7 days. We started on day 10 for another conversation, but so I had no human interaction, but that one time for a very few minutes, I was in a very different place. I was working through very fresh trauma of a wife walking out on me, a miscarriage, a community that I'd built, having to separate from it. And I was so brand new on the path that I didn't understand the value of pain and was still kind of in the stage of, this is happening to me. Why does God or the universe hate me? What have I done to deserve this? As opposed to more time with our mentor, Tom Elsner, saying, hey, this is a natural piece called initiation. I didn't know that. So the first time was just like true grit. And I describe it, Miles, as like a 28-day car accident. Just getting thrown around constantly, never knowing which way was up. Can't sleep because my body's in so much pain from the bed. Losing weight again, like the food wasn't that good. The facility was super uncomfortable. It was a concrete floor with a yoga mat. Like that was my furniture for a month. At least this one, there was a really comfortable bed. There was like a nook to sit in. There was like a separate room for the bathroom, a separate shower. Once a week, I could have the shower put to hot water. So just some creature comforts. I brought some food in on this one, brought nuts with me, even though there weren't a lot. I brought some chocolate in on this one. Last time I had no agency to make my situation better, which this time, especially given the length of time, was very, very necessary.
That makes sense. It sounds like sort of a CIA enhanced interrogation technique room that you were in before.
Yeah.
Not sleeping too, the sleep debt. That's a double whammy of psychosis. And
brutal.
Totally brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, as you know, right? It was insanity making. So I think I lost hold of reality. I had a day on the first one around day 24, 25, where I thought I had died. And for people listening to this, like, nah, that's fair. That's a bunch of bullshit. Go spend 3.5 weeks not sleeping, losing weight in a pitch black concrete room, and tell me that you don't know which way is up for a day. And that's when, I came out of that situation that day being like, okay, I think I'm alive. I'm alive. But also going, that was kind of scary. I'm a dude from Connecticut with not a lot of training in this capacity. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. Again, mental toughness. It's had to have taught you a lot about that.
Mm-hmm.
And just sort of the word surrender kept coming up in my mind. Like, you really got to fucking let go. It's like when people are like on ayahuasca or psilocybin and they fight it.
Mm-hmm.
They have a worse experience when they surrender, which is really fucking hard for the ego. That's when the lesson comes through. And I think there's one point in the book that was really pretty. And I almost wonder if you met your anima when you were speaking with the feminine and she said to kneel before you and you're like, fuck that. I will not kneel the feminine. Mm-hmm. And then you did and things shifted. That was a really beautiful part of the book.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very, very powerful. It reoriented my relationship with the mystery, with God, with the energetics of the feminine, with darkness. Right? The darkness is the feminine. There's a reason why 95% of people who go into a dark retreat are male. It is a full, like, you're back in the womb, you're back with the mother, you are in the feminine. And there is no agency beyond going to the bathroom, washing your hands, and eating if you want to eat when the food comes. But think of how many times a day you, as a masculine man, or anybody, has agency in their day to shift or change or provide input in any possible way. I've got a drink can next to me. I could take a drink in between each one of these sentences. I had a bite to eat right before coming up here to do the interview. Right? If I'm hot, I can change my clothes. I can change the air. I can turn the fan on and off. All of these little things that we take extremely for granted go away, and it's like, shit, okay, I'm hungry. It's 5 p.m. I will not be fed again until 10 a.m. That's a long time. Can I look at a clock and go, cool, I have 7 hours left? No. Just kind of figure at some point there will be a knock on the door and it'll say, like, your food's here. I have nothing to tell me if that's 3 hours away, 10 hours away, or 2 minutes away. So the level of continuous daily surrender to all of these things that we just don't need to surrender to in day-to-day life became a very deep practice.
Yeah, I'd say what a juxtaposition to modern living, which is very civilized. And especially if you're addicted to your phone, boy, oh boy, like just that alone being gone when you want to distract and you can't reach for it. I can't imagine just cutting all that stuff and walking in and just with no prep. Like, I think you'd go mental in a couple of days for sure.
Yeah.
Again, you definitely have to have some, like, I think you said it in the book, like at least some meditation under your belt, it's like to be bored, and sit there and let your mind, like after hour 3 of sitting and doing walking meditation, your mind's like, I'm fucking bored.
Yeah.
And that's a little taste, but you have the daylight still and you can look around and can't imagine that in the dark. You can meditate for so long and then you're going to get really bored. And that's probably when, in my practice, it was called shamatha vipassana, and shamatha just means calm abiding, following the breath. And vipassana is when the insight arises. So if you can get your mind to stay with the breath long enough, you get less monkey mind and you're still, that's when the aha can come up. And that's probably what happened for you after a while. And in Jungian terms, your psyche was like, sweet, I'm out of the fucking bag. This ego is like, crushed. Here we go. And your shadow side is like, I am at home. You get like a 1-2 punch in the nuts.
It's all there, man. It's shocking. People that say, like, were you bored? Yes, of course I was bored. But not very often. Because there was a ton of shit to talk about and think about and write. And I have a unique, I did not realize most people can't do this. I wrote endlessly in there, in my head. And would be able to go back to the same piece and rewrite it, reread it, say it again, edit this part. Then the next time it would be back to the edited version. It was an odd experience. And so I had plenty to do a lot of the time. Or simply, Miles, at some point, I would ask a very simple question and boom, would be hit by something. And the question would often be like, well, what's underneath this? I'm having the same fucking argument that I've had for the past 4 days with the same person, reliving the exact same wording. What's underneath this? And I may get a flash of an image or a quick mental movie and be like, oh my God, holy crap. I can't believe that was right there. All I had to do was ask the question. Or in meditation, if I was struggling, be like, man, I'm thinking about the same shit. I'd say to myself, all right, can I go deeper? Or I'd say to the room, I'd love to go deeper than business structure 2026, which I've worked on for 5 days now. And there would be times when it would be an instant flash of an image or something like that, that would catapult me into grief, sorrow, laughter, introspection, a conversation that lasted for 3 hours with that person who was in the image or whatever it may be. And there were also times where I'd be like, hey, I'd love to go deeper. And I'd be like, now would be great. An hour later. Or now. I don't know if you guys are awake in here. Now would be awesome.
And it sounds like they came.
Yeah.
Dialogues.
Yeah, I love Jung's quote, called or not, the gods will come.
They will come.
Yeah. Right? And man, there were times, brother, where I would literally ask a question and then get knocked over by it in a flash. And be like, holy shit.
You're literally in the fetal position sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of it. In bed, on the floor. Or I just fall to the floor in the fetal position. It was, yeah.
It's impressive. And
thank you.
Terrifying for the ego. Everybody listening, this is like, that would be something I would never do. But you could probably dip your toe in with like Aaron Rodgers did with 6 days and just work up from there. It's piqued my interest. It also scares the crap out of me just from listening to all my teachers and professors and Reggie Ray talk about it. Like, they're like, you got to work up to that one, and you just cannonballed into the deep end there for your first go.
Yeah, I'll say two things to speak to that though. I had a very long standing meditation practice, as in decades, 20 years, let's call it. Some multi day, 12, 14 hours a day. I've never done a Vipassana, but I had a consistent practice over years. And then something that Michael Gay said to me, which landed, is the darkness is your medicine. So I didn't run out and choose this. It came and chose me. And I think that whatever the medicine is that comes and chooses you, you have a higher capacity for it. I'm not advocating, and I don't really understand because it's not my thing, why someone would do 40 ayahuasca ceremonies in a year. That's not for me. And yet people will say, like, this was it came, it called me, it got me. My life is radically different since the very first time I did it. I've done ayahuasca four or five times. My life is not radically different because of it. I've seen some stuff. I've been open to some stuff's cleared out. It's been great. And 2 bouts in the darkness, and my life is drastically fucking different. Granted, they were big bouts, but drastically different. On a soul level different. So that's my medicine.
Yeah, it's all within us. That's the crazy thing. We don't need a substance to do it. It's just it's already there. That's the amazing part. I imagine, with all the psychedelics, a lot of people that do that, and they don't have the post integration necessarily. I mean, some do, but they're like, it's like a silver bullet. They're hoping, like, I'll just do this and I'll unfuck my life and it'll be all good.
Yeah.
I wish. And 40 times in a year, geez, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back after some point. For post integration, for darkness retreat, how was that for you? The first time, maybe the second time? I know it catches up late for things like this, but
yeah.
Is it going to therapy? Is it just talking to friends? Is it contemplation?
The first time I just lived at the ashram for about 3 weeks. And I wouldn't really say, Miles, that I did much integration. And I'll tell you that because I remember someone asking me about the dark 2 weeks later and going, oh yeah, shit, I did that. And almost having a severance of, oh, I have to dip back into, to answer this question, I have to go back in my mind. And perhaps that was just a chill out time of like, let it integrate on the deepest level. With this one, it's much harder because I have a company and I had to come back and get housing situated, and I have a team and I have a business and I had a relationship I needed to end, and like very, very intent, like move into a new house, get furniture, like basic stuff that's labor intensive, as opposed to just like go lie on a beach in Bali and journal for 7 weeks or whatever. I know some people have done. And I am talking to a Jungian analyst regularly who's been super helpful, super helpful. A guy named John Todd. And talking with Michael Gay, talking with Connor, talking with, it's really fun. The woman who was the very first person I saw when I came out the first time reached out to me. She's a tattoo artist in Germany and was like, hey, I'm here. If you need, she almost drove down to Italy to be there when I came out without telling me. And she's been super helpful. Our pizza's been super helpful. And I spend a lot of time with my eyes closed in meditation, and I have a lot of pages written in journals, and I have a lot of pages typed. So I process through writing, and just even sharing bits and pieces of it, even though a lot of it I'm still holding close to my chest, has been helpful. And I think even just a recognition, Miles, that I've been out for a month and change. Mm-hmm. Probably still got 4 or 5 months of integration left. And just letting there be space of like, you know what I'm going to do this afternoon? Nothing. You know what I'm going to do tonight? Nothing. And that's not how I've envisioned my life. I like to fill my shit. I like to do stuff. Like specifically not joining a jiu-jitsu gym when I came back. I was like, I don't want that intensity on me right now. I don't want to be fighting for my physical survival right now, even if it's consensual. I need to have a slow pace. I need to spend time in the woods with Sage. I need to sit in silence. Um, and it's been very, very difficult. I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. But that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
Doing hard things.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fight hurt, right? Gonna fight hurt.
Amen. Yeah.
I'm not. It's not a cult. I haven't seen when the spaceship shows up or anything. It's just been helpful for me because what I've been going through. But
Yeah.
another ethos tenet number 5: your deepest gifts grow in the garden of your wounds. I've been chewing on that one ever since I read your book the first time a couple of years ago.
Mm.
I'm still unpacking that. And now that I have you here, I'm sure other people will be interested. Can you unpack that one a little bit? Because it lands sort of intuitively, but some part of me gets it, but logically, it's like
Yeah.
it fights it, right? It doesn't want to go there.
Yeah. This was created with the help of Tom Elsner. Or it's, he helped plant that seed. And for those of you who don't know, Tom was a Jungian analyst as well. That was a mentor to both Miles and I, who passed last year. And he was my therapist for the year after my divorce. And I'd never gone to therapy before. So to get the maestro straight away was such a gift, right? Such a blessing. And I remember him telling me, like, the deeper you go in the muck and the shit and the hardship and the depression, like the lower it fucking gets, like that there are gifts that are only available to you on rock bottom. And I was like, oh man, how come no one's told me this? And he wasn't saying buy real estate down there. What he was saying is, when you get there, which you will get there, and life, the universe, God, whatever, your psyche will drop you there. Take a couple breaths, have a seat, and look around. Mm. And maybe you'll find something that you get to take up to the surface with you. And that becomes what you share with the world. That becomes the thing at the end of the hero's journey that you return to society with and go, hey, here you go. Look at my arm. Woo, just got chills again. And you mentioned my first book, Today I Rise. That was born out of the worst situation of my life. And it's just like a documentary. My friend, God bless him, Drew, said to me, why don't you write 65 individual letters to the you who woke up and found out your wife was leaving that day? And I turned it into 90 and turned it into a book. But man, Drew's a Jungian. He's a nothing. He sells a smoothie PDF online, and he's like an e-commerce guy. But he's got a Jungian soul, because I think what he was saying is, like, speak the words that you needed to hear, that you might not have heard, and then share them with the world. Because there's someone waking up today whose wife left him yesterday and no one's talking to him. Now, was that my greatest gift, Miles? I think it was part of my greatest gift. My greatest gift was my ex-wife has just left me. I'm on rock bottom. I'm borderline suicidal. What am I going to do with this? I'm going to start writing. I'm going to stop writing fitness blogs and bullshit and start writing, hey, pain is fuel. Pain can be used. I'm going to share this whole journey that I'm on, which I hate every step of. I feel like my face is just being ground in broken glass and dog shit on rock bottom. You know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to write about that. And I'm going to put it publicly so someone else may go, you know what? I'm there too, brother. Thank you. I had no expectation that that book would turn into a second book, and that second book would turn into a worldwide movement. Mm-hmm. So the garden of my wound was that her leaving, was that miscarriage, was that breaking from a community that I had built by hand, but was kind of trapping me from talking about the bigger things that I wanted to talk about. And now even the death of my father last year, the ending of a long-term relationship, the arrival of that pre-verbal trauma, all of that was in like 3 weeks within each other. That was a shit 3 weeks. I'm back in the fucking garden again, face down with a boot on my throat. And literally 4 or 5 days later came up and went, God, you know what? I think I want to talk about some stuff that's deeper than just men's work. I love men's work. I'm not leaving it. I want to speak to men. But man, where's the soul of this country? Where's the soul of the world? Where's my soul? How come I can't feel my soul anymore? Poof. I'll go sit in a pitch black room for 7 weeks and my soul will sit on my lap and go, you're never going anywhere again. It's either me and you or death. Take it, make your choice right here.
That's a statement right there.
Woo.
I get chills hearing you say that.
Right? One life. I'll tell you this, you'll hear this again in January when I launch something. You have one life, it's soul-led, and you go all in on it. That's it. Come on. There is no other option.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? It came from holding my dad's hand as he died, ending a relationship with a woman I love, figuring out that I had pre-verbal trauma. I do not recommend any of those, like space them out 3 or 4 years if those things are going to happen. And if they come together, sit and go, okay, I'm back in the garden. I don't want to be here, but I'm not going to run out. I'm just going to look around and go, what's here for me? Maybe there's a gift, right? And for me, there was.
Yeah, they keep springing. And you went through a really, like, reading Today I Rise, I felt so sorry and sad for you. I mean, you were figuring out, like a lot of guys, like, we just numb out with like substances and all that shit, porn, whatever. And then we avoid the deep conversations. And then losing a child, that's just one of the worst things ever. And then your ex, I think, just told you, like, out of the blue, like, oh, by the way, I'm out.
I'm out. We were lying in bed an hour beforehand, cuddled up.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense, right? Like the insanity of it was what was part of the brutality. Like we have a guy in the nation that says, he describes the initiation as like going to cross the street and looking left and looking right and then getting hit by an airplane. And so I can joke about the end of my marriage. It was like, I woke up one morning, made breakfast for my ex-wife, and I got hit by an airplane. And I'll leave her side of it to her. Like how someone can do that is her business. It's not my stuff.
No.
But I hope people listening to this. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you go. I'll come out later.
I was going to say, I hope people listening to this, Miles, especially men, we don't deal with rock bottom well.
No.
We kill ourselves. We kill other people.
Yes.
We get violent. We get numb. We get addicted. I can look at 80% of the male challenges in the world or the challenges that we bring into the world and go, it's an inability to sit in the depth of our pain. And how do you get someone to sit in the depth of their pain? You show them that there's meaning there.
That's the carrot.
That's the carrot. Like I've said for years, can you imagine the fitness industry if we just realized one day working out harder makes you fatter, dumber, and less sexy? No one would do it. Yet people will like, I physically put myself in pain every day because I know there's a benefit to it. You just got to show them the benefit. And we as a culture have failed everybody, but specifically men, by not saying, brother, there's a roadmap here. You just got to find it. And by the way, it will take you 6 times longer to find it than you want to. And you may take 2 steps out of here and then get put right back down. That's okay. That's all part of it. And so when Tom explained that to me, Miles, it like my whole system relaxed. I still hated it. I wasn't like, oh, this is amazing. Yay. I'm so glad she left and my life turned to shit. But it went, you know what? I can do this. I can do hard shit. I've been here for. I've been in the bottom of fights. I've gotten hit in the face before. I've pulled myself out of stuff. I've survived stuff. But what if we told guys, and this is an actual spiritual journey that you're on? And so not only are you going to, oh, I'm going to make more money when no, no, no. Every aspect of your life could be better.
Yes.
You can reach a level of satisfaction, which is what most men are after, that you don't even know is possible.
Yeah.
You'll win the fucking game. You'll win the game.
Yes. Yes. It makes sense with hitting rock bottom, like how we're so afraid of that. And it reminds me of like what Tom says, like it's sort of like in the Jungian world, like you go to Hades, you go down there, and it fucking sucks down there.
Yeah.
But you find lost shit. And
Yeah.
like you said, you don't take out a mortgage down there, you come back up at some point. But your life will force you to go down there. You can choose to avoid it. You can numb out. You can go down there checked out as fuck. You're still in there, but you're not noticing anything. You're not going to bring up any treasure. I think that is you nailed it. If we incentivize men, because we like things like that there is some good to come from that, then maybe we will go there. Maybe we'll be more brave. Maybe we'll allow ourselves to just to sit there. We just need to know what to do. We need like a sort of an instruction manual. And if we have that, then maybe we won't kill ourselves because we don't need to do that. We won't do a school shooting or something fucking crazy like that. We won't get hooked on drugs, alcohol, porn, all these things that are very readily available, phones, all that stuff. I just don't think we know that we can do that.
We don't. I didn't.
Yeah.
I remember like leaving his office and being like, I was so angry. How come no one's told me this before? Like, fuck you. I was like, fuck you to the culture.
Yeah.
Like truly aggressively angry.
Yeah.
And didn't even in that time wasn't like, I'm going to make sure every guy knows this. I just want to walk my own path. And then it became clear. The gift. You got to share this. You got to talk about this. That's the gift and the gem, or the gift in the Garden of the Wounds. And I've seen this with most successful people I know. At some point, part of what they're doing is because of they had to survive something that was bigger than they are. Part of what they're doing, for a lot of people, it's that. It doesn't mean you have to, right? If you remember the story in the book of my buddy whose dad was murdered, and I was like, what are you going to do with this? And he goes, I'm just going to live a good life.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, fucking hell.
Yeah. It could be
Yeah, you're allowed to do that too. Right? But how many guys would benefit from just, like you said it, the roadmap?
Yeah.
You know?
And you have one sort of built in now, the men's initiation weekend that you and the Jedi Masters do.
Yeah.
I hope every man gets a chance to go through this because it was so profound. I want to do it again. And all my patients that I see, I'm like, dude, you got to do this. Dude, you got to do this. I'm sending people your way and hope they
Right on.
take you up on it. But that was just amazing. You know, especially the wilderness therapy part, the horse therapy part that you get is just an added bonus to the group work that we do, the Gestalt work that we do. And you get because you get Dave Boyd, Michael Gay, and Dewey Freeman, which is like, couldn't ask for more. Like,
Thank you. Yeah, it's a cast. Yeah.
It was. It's a very special program. I hope more guys get the chance to do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear about the new stuff that's coming, but now it's verboten to talk about yet. But I'll look forward to it. Yeah, and the Today I Rise book it's not all dark. Like you had a chapter about eating the dodgy Chinese food and shitting the bed. I was having a really bad day that day. I laughed my ass off. It was so funny.
I debated Miles putting that in. You know, I was like, do I do this? Do I do this? My mom's going to read this book. Do I do this? And I was like, you know what? The best feedback I get on that book, and to this day, I still get a ton of it, is thank you for being honest.
Yeah, broad relational.
Thank you for being honest. And there's levity on rock bottom too.
Mm.
Like there's levity, and I think sometimes if we can find the levity comes in the absurdity. So what Miles is talking about is I got food poisoning like 3 months into the worst separation of my life and ended up shitting in my bed. And literally I'm lying there like, did that just fucking happen? Did literally this is like I'm like looking up at the sky, like, really? My life isn't crap enough right now? Like it's taking every ounce of my strength to get out of bed every morning, and you want me to now I have to go clean my sheets? I pooped in my bed because I have food poisoning. Uh, and I think I was even laughing in the moment, like, really? Come on, like, throw me something, throw me a bone here, you know?
Just keeps hitting.
You know,
What is it trying to teach us?
there's some level of absurdity in all of our tragedy,
Yeah.
too, if you look for it. There's just got ton, and it's okay. Also, I hope people realize that you can hold grief and laughter in the same moment. And it
Yes.
doesn't take away from the grief. It doesn't mean you miss the person less. It doesn't mean their life was less impactful if you're grieving someone who died or someone who lost. You still get to have a moment of humanity from time to time that's joyful.
That's beautiful. You in your book, you also talk about working in a hospice uh, facility. I don't know what you call it. That was
Yeah.
there was grief and levity. Some of those guys
Yeah.
you worked with were in a really bad place, but also really fucking funny too.
Yeah. I actually found some video this morning on my phone of a guy named Ernest who I was with for probably, I was with him for the longest. And man, he was a character. A character. And when he died, I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. I got notice. I'd left him because I had to just move on with the year. And I was in Brooklyn when I got the message from his daughter, uh, and sobbed for missing him and sobbed for, like, hey, man, you're out of a wheelchair now. You're out of a broken body now. You're out of liver pain and pills every day and the misery of the end of the human experience. You're free. But yeah, he would I would play Snoop Dogg, Miles, and this guy would, like, he would vape and he would blow like smoke rings and like kind of dance. He's like all crippled, but he would be doing this. Like, look at you, Snoop Dogg, you know? Or he lied to me once and said that his daughter wouldn't cook him steak. And so I went to Whole Foods and I bought, like, like a $32 steak and came back. And she the next day messaged me. Was like, hey, the house smelled like steak. Did you cook him steak? And I was like, yeah, he said that he doesn't get steak. And she's like, he's full of shit. He gets steak like 3 times a week. Yeah. I was like, you're gaming us, brother.
Well, you got to lose.
Yeah, seriously.
That's beautiful. Yeah, and then the other guy you're talking to, and I don't where you got an intuitive hit from the universe, but you told him, like, dude, you look like shit, and I think you're gonna die. And he was like, you think? And you got excited. He was at that
Yeah,
point,
Richard.
there you go.
Yeah, he was an amazing guy, man. He's the star of 28 Days. Um, he was 93 years old. And at that stage, Miles, his friends had died, his wife had died, his family wasn't coming to see him. He needed help getting in and out of a bed to take a shit. He needed help being fed. Like, he wanted to go. He really wanted to go. And I had so much empathy and compassion for the fact that, I mean, it'll fuck me up to say this. I remember one day was like, I wonder if God's mad at me. Like, he was a very religious man and was like, why won't God take me? And I was like, I can't answer that for you, brother. Like, I am not qualified to answer that. But I'll try to make your time here as enjoyable as possible if I can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a real thing that we don't talk about. End of life. Like, oh, we want to live forever. I want to live. But at some point, you're going to look around and go, man, I'm in a facility. I don't know anybody. I got a roommate who coughs all night, or I'm working with staff that I don't want to shit on their staff, but they weren't the best. And this was a state-run facility. It was public services, and him too. When I found out he passed, it was just like a deep bow and prayer of like, brother, you are fucking free. You made it. You're out. Go dance with your wife. You know.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah. Yeah. I hope everyone. Another thing that would help an immense amount of men: go volunteer in hospice. It will change you on a fundamental level. It will not make you faster, stronger, better looking, abs, a bigger dick, or more income, but it will make you care about those less and less and less, and will drop you down into what actually matters about life, which is how present can you be with someone no matter what they're going through.
Yeah. Talk
That
about
was
mental story. That's spot on.
and training for the masculine on presence.
Mm-hmm.
I had one job requirement when I was in front of those men. Can I be present? I'm a present human, but that was like
Tough.
locked in. If they're crying, if they're puking, if they're shitting themselves, if they're telling you the worst story you've ever heard in your life, or if they're telling you the funniest story of your life, can you sit there in the moment with them and go, I'm unaffected by all of this and deeply affected by all of this?
Yeah, you gotta hold that dick.
That was like PhD level presence training.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teach you a lot about yourself and what matters most. And we don't think about that. That's what I like about Stoicism and Buddhism, because they say contemplate, memento mori, contemplate your own death every day.
Yeah.
And in Buddhism, they have these very morbid meditations where you imagine your body decaying, blah, blah, blah. But it's good though, because when you come out of it, it's like, oh, I'm still alive. It was like, just kidding, we're good. And then you're like, okay, I should actually live today. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And in hospice, that's just in your face in spades, I would imagine.
People go like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the dude was good on Friday. Don't bother seeing him on Monday. He died over the weekend.
Yeah, you just get an email or something.
Just done.
Yeah.
Like, well, what happened over the weekend? He got a cold. Okay. Or he fell, you know?
Yeah.
Or just decided not to eat. Or we don't know. He's gone. Yeah.
That's intense, but in a good way. Like I said, being very hard, but very profound at the same point. That's good advice for men to do that. I like really look at the tabs on this motherfucker.
Go for it, man.
I'm just gonna go. We already talked about a lot of this, but you had some good quotes. First one: "Till you're willing to sit in the depth of your own darkness, you'll never truly find the light you desperately seek." We I think we talked about that well enough, but again, that's hard. We numb that out. We avoid that. You got to experience rock bottom, and it's okay to experience rock bottom.
Yeah.
I touched that one. You talked about getting over the pattern of not showing up for yourself. I think a lot of guys don't show up for themselves, or they have this sort of self-betrayal. They have the values and they see themselves as they want to be, and then they betray it, whether it's in being a nice guy or they can't keep the commitments to themselves, and then they beat the fuck out of themselves for it, which is a downward spiral. How do men break that cycle? How do they show up for themselves? How do they not betray themselves?
First, you just got to get honest. Is the life that you're building the life that you want? If it's not, you'll betray it over and over and over. Now, if it is, you may also betray it because you don't think you deserve it, or you don't think that there's pieces of it that are going to be hard or challenging, or there'll be something there that comes with it that you're not okay with. Step 1, get honest. Step 2, get still. You got to get still, man. We're so fucking distracted. We're running around like chickens with our heads cut off. We're sprinting here and there. My truest form of self-love starts every morning when my ass hits the meditation cushion. And I go, that's for me. That's not for my audience. That's not for my team. That's not for guys in the nation. It's not for my clients. It's not for my partner. It's not even for my damn dog who wants me to get up and walk her. I start the day for me. And it's an intimacy.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow my breath. I'm going to feel what's going on in my body. I'm going to listen to messages that come through for me. That's how we start.
Yeah.
You get sober, brother. Like, that's a biggie for guys. I'm sorry to tell you, but you are most likely betraying the life that you want to live. Let's call it 95% of the time you use a substance. 5% of the time, if it's in celebration, oh, my kid graduated from college, having a glass of champagne. Beautiful. Do that.
Yeah.
But most guys aren't skillful in that. I wasn't. I'm not sure if I could be still. I still don't drink. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I can tell you that I have collectively over 11 years now, or 10 years, however long it's been, that's thousands and thousands and thousands of days where I was not in an altered state. That's how I showed up for myself. I showed up for myself in a sober state. And how many of those days was there difficulty? Was there heartache? Was there grief? Was there challenge? Was there anxiety? That I got to look in the mirror the next day and be like, thanks for hanging with that yesterday. As opposed to, fuck, man, we checked out yesterday. And I get it. Sometimes you just got to turn the machine off and go, cool, I'm taking a break. It's okay. There's humanity in here. But I also got to ask guys, and I know this is sort of a cliche. It's almost like a sports term. I've thrown it in the nation a bunch for the guys. Are you keeping the main thing the main thing? And the main thing is, what are you building with your life? What is the gift that you are here to give to the world? These are big questions, Miles. But when I know guys who are like, hey, I know the gift and I'm giving it. Now, are you betraying it because it's confronting? Okay, you got to work on that. What's scary about giving the gift? What are you fucking terrified is going to happen? Have you forgotten that in 40 years you're going to be gone and no one's going to remember who you are? Then double down. Have you forgotten that this life that you are living is an absolute miracle and a blessing? You forgot that because Amazon will deliver shit to your door tomorrow morning? Man, go hang out with people who aren't going to make it this fucking weekend. Go hang out in hospice, right? You forget. We have friends that die. The older, anybody over 40, you're going to have friends that die one day. Nobody knows why. That could be you. So if you have this limited amount of time, how are you showing up for it? Are you building something worthwhile, right? When I ask men, what do you want and what do you need as a man? And then Dewey came in and was like, and what do you long for? When I get guys that'll tell me what they long for, usually there's tears in their eyes. And I'm like, it requires, brother, listen to what I'm about to tell you. It requires a heroic effort, day after day, moment after moment, hour after hour, to stay on course of saying, I long for that. That's what I'm orienting my life towards. That's how I will show up. I will do everything in my power to get that, to be in that. And that pursuit will actually benefit my life far more than me actually achieving it.
It will.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what the journeys of my life have been? Writing the 3 books. They have been fucking journeys. And I've got boxes and boxes of them sitting in my garage and I'm like, shit, how do I sell this now? Right? There's like a switch that happens. But the journey, this book comes out tomorrow. There's been a 3-year journey that I can look back on and be like, oh my God, I'm so glad I showed up for that. I got thrown down a couple flights of stairs and maybe had a threesome or 2 in there. So it's not all bad. But the journey was worth it, right? The juice is worth the squeeze. So guys, listen to this. Stop fucking betraying yourself. If it's a consistent pattern, reach out to men like Miles. Reach out to people who can help you. We're not supposed to go through this whole thing alone. I have a team. I have coaches. I have a therapist. I have people that are like, hey, man, this thing's really scary, isn't it? Yeah, it's scary. Okay. What's tripping you up today? Well, this is tripping me. Okay. I just told you at the beginning of this call, I'm talking to John Todd weekly. I'm talking to someone who's smarter than me in this subject, who's got decades of intuition behind what he tells me. That's how I'm showing up for myself. Someone was like, what's the biggest act of leadership you've done since you've come out of the dark? I was like, go to therapy. Mm-hmm. Because I can't lead myself well right now. I'm a little bit fucked up. Mm-hmm. But I can lead myself to the door of someone else and say, hey, man, here's all my fucked upness. What do you see in this? And have him go, well, tell me about your dreams. I'm dreaming of threesomes.
You're singing again. Definitely ask you that.
That answer your question?
Though, yeah. It did. And it also reminds me of what you guys talk about, like you got to fight for your life. Does that go along with that?
Yeah, man. I'm going to come back to this statement, Miles. It takes a heroic effort. So, gentlemen, if you're not showing up for yourself, if you're not showing up for a soul-led life, if you're not showing up for the people in your life, I'm going to tell you, you have to 10x the effort. And maybe it's not 10x the output. You have to 10x the willingness and the desire to do what Miles said. If your house was on fire today, you would find a fucking way out. You'd throw a chair through the window, you'd dive out the second floor, one kid under one arm, a dog under the other, and you would get out. That would be a heroic effort. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do that daily, but that is the requirement. Because you are combating a culture and a system and a society that does not want you to show up for yourself. It wants you addicted to social media. It wants you addicted to negativity. It wants you addicted to drugs, alcohol, pharmaceuticals. It does not want you potent. It does not want you powerful. It does not want you clear, or else you'll look at the system and go, this is a fucking nightmare. How come Nancy Pelosi's worth $250 million as a public servant? What's going on here? I have questions.
Doesn't math.
I just have to ask. Here, have a beer and some Xanax, son. Thanks.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's cool. Do you guys see? You have to fight, not for just, some of you have to fight for your life. Everybody has to fight for a life that's not cookie cutter. Or societally deemed okay, which is anything outside the box.
And that's the civilized life.
And that's the civilized life. Unless you're Brad Pitt. I'm sorry. Or someone that was just gifted an easy life. I'm sorry. Maybe it's not even easy, but gifted opportunity that the 99.999% of us will not be. I'm sure he has struggles too. But gentlemen, you put your hand on your stomach and you know that there's something else that you want. It will not be easy to actualize it in the world. It will cost you. And the cost will be worth it. But it will suck when you're going through it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so many guys understand fitness. If we wanted to say, hey, do you want to be in the best shape of your life? You don't do that 15 minutes every other week. You go all in. You hire a trainer, you hire a nutritionist, you hire a chiropractor, you go through you got to get a team going on that. And maybe you can't afford a team to do this thing that you want to do, but that is the requirement of doing it. The requirement doesn't give a fuck what you think about the requirement. That's the price of entry.
Yeah, and you'll know more about your true self when you do that too.
You will get gifts beyond belief.
There's the carrot again.
Yeah.
And it is scary and it does suck, but a little bit of pay up front for the rest of your life being better versus a little bit of avoidance and feeling good now for shit in on the back end of life.
Amen.
That's what's going to fucking happen.
You know how many times, Miles, in the dark, I had to say to myself, but this is going to change the rest of your life. Like, today sucks. I want to fucking get out. I'm hurting today. I want out. I don't want out. I want this done. I just want this over with. Hang tight, man. This is gonna pay for the rest of your life. I could have done a 49-day surf trip, which would have been informative. It would have been, I may have stories to share, great waves, beautiful times, all the things. This changed who I am at my core. This gave me a relationship with my soul. I will carry that. I will sit on my deathbed and I will not be alone, even if I'm the only person for 10 miles, because of the 49-day investment I made in the dark.
Yeah. You won't be sitting in hospice having hopefully someone like you showing up that gives a fuck. You'll be surrounded by people that care about you.
Yeah. Or I'll be with me and I care about me.
Even deeper. Yes. I think that's a humdinger right there. Yeah. Back to the self-betrayal thing, like getting to know yourself. There's such a avoidance of that in life, I think, for men and women, but maybe more men these days. Not going within. We're all cerebral, and what can we get externally? Having a relationship to ourselves is almost like this, like, ooh, I don't want to go there. But that's what the juice is. Like you said, when you get up and you meditate every day, you have an intimate moment with yourself. That's getting to your authentic self.
Yeah.
A lot of us had to trade attachment for authenticity with, fucked up upbringings or whatever. We forget to ask, who am I? What do I want? What do I need? Or have caregivers that reflect that back to us.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of add to unfuck their lives to feel safe in our environment. And then we get lost. That sets up the whole nice guy archetype. And or what I always talk about on my podcast is your archetypes of the Marlboro man and the sensitive new age guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's genius, because that's kind of the options we have right now. It's like, I'm a lone wolf. I don't care about anybody. I can do it by myself. Women are objects. I don't like them. Or I'll grovel. I'll be a doormat. Tell me what to do. And then maybe you'll tell me I'm a good boy. And I secretly rage against women. It's like they both need to come closer together, shed all the bullshit, and tell the good things about each other. And then this yin and yang of like, oh, here's healthy masculinity. It's somewhere in the middle. And maybe it's not static, but I love those two archetypes, because if we can find a third option, just like would say, hold the tension of the opposites, and the third way emerges. The transcendent function in your pathway to wholeness is if we do that.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing that with Man Uncivilized. We're trying to
Yeah. So
find out where you are.
Yeah.
I'm scared to keep going because I'm going to keep you here for 4 hours, but
It's okay. Keep going. We'll do a couple more.
All right, let's do a couple more. I'm just going to do a random one here. No, I just went to 5 Pure Life. How synchronistic. I did, there was a longer quote. I'll just read it. The second week in the darkness was the lowest and most awful period of my life, even harder than experiencing the loss in real time. When the rug of my life got ripped out from under me, I had denial and bypass as two of my best survival tools, both available to me at any time. There in the jungles of Guatemala with nowhere to go and nothing to do but fall, fall, and fall, I did so. People ask me this day how this experience did not break me. If it's not abundantly clear from what I've already written, let me state it again here. It broke me. The room was bigger than I was, so much bigger. It was not David versus Goliath, and there it was me and all my terribly human form against the force of nature that is darkness. It was like trying to fight the changing season or death itself. That one hit home for me.
Yeah.
How do you fight the seasons? How do you fight death? Good luck.
It takes a heroic effort just to stand in the face of either one. And there's only one choice. You surrender.
Back to surrender.
You just fucking surrender. And that becomes a heroic choice. What are you going to do if your kid dies? What are you going to do if your spouse dies? What are you going to do if you end up with cancer? What are you going to do if you're given 6 months to live, or a year as our friend was? What are you going to fight that? You're going to get pissed at God? You're going to throw rocks at the sky? Beat someone up in a parking lot? It's bigger than you, man. There's so much shit that's bigger than us. I wish men would hear that too, or were told that. In the face of something that's that big, you kneel.
Mm.
And that is an act of courage. That is an act of warriorship. Because you're not giving up. You're surrendering. They're different. You're not collapsing.
Ah,
You're not collapsing.
that's a great distinction.
You're surrendering. You're saying, okay, like take me. But take me standing, or take me rigid. Take me with some level of structure. I'm actively saying, take me.
You're choosing.
You're choosing. I'm choosing.
Seems like Tom did that very well in the end.
Yeah.
You got to speak to him.
Yeah.
And
man, he was telling me about his dreams, and
yeah,
yeah. I went to visit our friend before things got really bad for him. So I'm also grateful I got to see him at a time when he could walk and he could speak and he was functional, but he knew what was coming. You know, how do you face death? What are you going to do? Death. It's life and death are the two biggest forces on earth or in the world. We don't have choice around one. It happens. And the other one, none of us are getting out of.
right.
And how amazing that there's stuff bigger than we are, man. I don't know how people feel about that. Maybe there's a megalomania or a idea that you have to conquer all. But I learn a shit ton from the guys at jiu-jitsu who smash me. I don't love it, and I don't love it in the moment. But man, do I learn something from it.
Yeah.
And what am I supposed to do? Push back against a guy who's 280-pound black belt? Am I supposed to beat him with my might, with my muscle? Or do I need to relax so much that I may be able to find a place I can squirt out the side? Or take the beating. Take the loss with the understanding that as soon as that bell rings, I'm going to ask him,
Yes.
how did you do that? Where was my arm that was out of position? Why did you catch that? If we were here next in this position, how could I have survived 10 seconds longer? I think we get to dialogue with stuff that's bigger than us. I know we do, because I dialogued with the dark. I dialogued with pain. I dialogued with death. I sat with it, asked it questions, listened for the answers, took the answers in, went, fuck, now I have to reorganize my life. That will be painful. That will be uncomfortable. That will cost money. That will cost time. That will cost emotion. Okay, but I'm all in. I'll listen. I will not be the guy that asks the question, gets the answer, and then doesn't do anything with the answer. Because one, fuck me. How dare I? To be in the face of that level of knowledge and not take it in and do something with it. It's like the Bronx Tale, wasted talent, right? Remember that movie? You ever seen that movie?
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Or how disrespectful, maybe it won't tell me next time then.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that as well. I literally I came out of that dark room, Miles, and within 3 days ended a relationship I was in. Someone who I really, truly loved and cared about went, you know what? I did not see this continuing in there. It sucked. So in addition to not being able to see and fall over and have shitty balance and dizzy and upset, I had heartbreak. Called it in. I chose it. Came here and did something completely irrational. I'm sitting in a 5-bedroom house, which I've told you about. I'm one guy with a dog. Why did you rent a 5-bedroom house? Because I was told to do so, to bring people together, to start hosting events, to start hosting meditations. I've got 10 meditation mats sitting in a basement. I've not had anybody come yet, but if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
This is irrational. It makes no sense. I'm a single guy. Go get a studio, bank the money, buy Bitcoin. Or go, okay, I got guidance. I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna follow it.
Yes.
I'd rather fail following, then ignore the advice, and next time it go, well, you didn't really listen last time.
Yeah. You're nailing what Jung talks about with the midlife transition versus the midlife crisis. You want to listen to the ego, or do you want to listen to the psyche or soul?
Right.
And the soul psyche is much harder. But if you listen, and it's not going to make any sense. It's sort of like you're calling what wants to come through the world through you, and it's not going to make logical sense. The ego goes, well, let's work twice as hard, get the trophy wife and the Porsche, and that'll solve it. Works about 90 days, but there's a price.
Yeah.
And
We know it.
We know it. Yeah.
We know it, man. We know it. Yeah.
It's good. And I think you're right. We got to slow down. We got to get quiet. I mean, you don't have to cannonball into a darkness retreat, but maybe you work up to it. But meditation is a great place to start, or just walks in nature, anything where you slow down, put the phone down. These weird shit comes to me in the shower all the time. You know, your mind's just passive, and
you don't have your phone with you in there.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Some people might, not me.
I think that's how do we show up for ourselves? We become conscious of the number of distractions that we're willingly allow into our lives. That's step one. If I can't hear myself or feel myself, I've betrayed myself.
That is amazing right there. If I can't hear myself and listen to myself, I will betray myself.
I have betrayed myself. Yeah. I've let something come between me and me. Now I get it. We get caught up in stuff. Work is busy. Kids are this. Life is this. So we have to consciously put in practices to say, I'm returning to myself.
Takes work.
Man, how we doing? Right? We good? We okay? Shit. Sorry about that. Fuck, we're not okay. What do we need? Like, this is relationality. We said raw, real, relational. What is the conversation back and forth with ourselves? Is it the same as if we'd met a trusted friend we hadn't seen in some time? Or is it antagonistic?
Right, the critic.
I've probably told you this. I tell the guys in the nation, I have like 600 voice notes on my phone. Most mornings, I record myself a voice note in bed. Little check-in from, hey, how was yesterday? Hey, what's going on? How do we feel? What are you excited about coming up? I've done this for years. Sometimes I get away from it, but usually it's almost every day. And then what I'll do is I'll listen to the one from the day before. Or if I'm out walking the dog, I'll listen to one from 2 weeks ago and go, oh yeah, shit.
That seems like a great practice. And you're a big proponent of journaling, and you could do it there too.
I'm a big proponent of journaling. There's something powerful about the written word, handwritten word. And there's something powerful about my voice in my ear telling me, hey man, things are tough right now. You know what I need from you? Get off sugar. Have a little bit more discipline. This tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., go to the gym. You will feel better if you do. And then at 6 a.m. when I'm listening to yesterday's note, and it's like, hey man, go to the gym. You will feel better. It's like, I'm an ally.
Yes.
To myself.
Self-compassion.
Yeah. I recorded one last night, Miles. It was maybe 30 minutes. People may be like, what a narcissistic prick. But it wasn't like, you are the best. You are the best. It's like I put on my Trump hat. You're the best that's ever been the best. There's no bald guy better than you at podcasting. It's not that. But it's truly like, hey, we're 5 weeks out of the dark. How are we doing? Whoa. Some stuff's happened that we didn't expect, did it? Man, what if we did this? What if we tried that? Like, I want to be in relationship. People are doing this every morning. They're just doing it with ChatGPT.
Yes.
I want to do it with myself. I don't care if you talk to ChatGPT. But I will die having a relationship with myself. Period fucking period.
That's fucking revolutionary these days.
It is. It is truly. Do you know yourself? Can you sit in a room? What was it Pascal said? I'm fucking up this quote royally, but like the challenges of man because he can't sit in a room by himself for 5 minutes alone or something like that. Most people can't. That to me is like white belt basic shit of life.
That's not even putting the belt on.
You're not even.
Yeah.
Right?
But,
like, do you know how to cook eggs? Yes. Okay. You can sustain yourself for a month. Can you sit down quietly for 5 minutes and not hate yourself? Can you sit down quietly for 5 minutes and listen to the you that's been screaming at you, that you've been numbing with drugs and alcohol and porn and work and Netflix? Can you then sit down and celebrate you? I do have notes like, fuck you. I'm going to record one tomorrow morning. Hey, man, book's coming out. Well done. Great job. Fuck yeah. 3 years in the making. Couple delays. Remember this, and this happened? I hope you take today and you just celebrate yourself. Well done. So 3 years from now, because I have them for each book, 3 years from now, I'm going to be like, boom. Oh, yeah. I remember that morning. That was awesome.
So the dialogue is always something positive and compassionate. Or are you working through stuff sometimes?
Both.
Both.
I always keep it compassionate, Miles, because why am I going to yell at myself?
Fair point.
I got yelled at a lot growing up by a lot of different people, and I didn't like it. Yeah. And I thought if it was effective, I'd still do it.
Good point.
Now, are there times when I'm like, hey, man, it's time to step the fuck up?
All right. That's different.
Right? We love ourselves too much to bail on this opportunity or to step away from the life we said we wanted. So there's their ferocity in there from time to time, yes. But I need to give myself all of the doses of the things I didn't get. Hey, man, I'm proud of you. Hey, man, well done. Hey, man, congratulations. Now, I don't know any men who are in therapy because they have too much support. They're hearing from too many people, I'm proud of you. And the right people. You did well. Congratulations. I doubt a lot of people show up at your office and they're like, you know what? My parents, my wife, everyone's telling me that they're proud of me, and it's too much. I need to cut some of those relationships. How do I do this skillfully?
I'm too well resourced.
Right. Yeah. So I go down to 24-hour fitness and I hire a trainer. I'm like, I'm benching too much at the moment and I just need to get back down to like human levels. So can you run me through some bullshit workouts? It doesn't happen. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's compassionate. I want to be my own fucking ally. And I've said to people, I want people in my life who hold me to a high standard. I want people who call me on my shit. I tolerate zero disrespect. Why? Because I'm trying to build a worldwide movement that will change masculinity forever.
Love it.
I cannot have a toxic person shitting on me that's close to me. I have to deal with the public. The public will do that from time to time. That's okay. But I can't have someone close to me doing it. So I'm very, very careful about my intimate relationships. I don't have people in my life who are disrespectful because the public is. And I'm trying to build something this big. It requires like all of the ingredients being supportive. Even if that support is ferocity. So then I just kind of stopped. So if you want to take it from there.
Yeah. So don't shit on yourself. Key takeaway. I think I'm going to steal that idea from you. The voice notes thing. I think that's genius because I'm lazy about journaling. I kind of like, well, I don't want to write. When I do, it's like, it always feels good, but I somehow fight it. But talking into something, it seems like low limbic friction. Like, I'm not going to fight that as much. So I'm definitely going to steal that from you. It's a genius idea.
Thank you.
Well, before technology hates us even more, we should probably stop. Or if I pick this book up again, I'll just read the whole thing to everybody. Go get the book. It comes out tomorrow. Today's the 25th. By the time this podcast comes out, it'll have been out. But it's really freaking good.
Thank you.
Well done. And I'm sure everyone's going to ask you, are you going to write another one about the 49-day one? Let's not put that pressure on you.
Not yet, but I am writing another one.
Okay.
One that came to me in the dark.
Brilliant.
I started writing it in there, and then ignored all orders to rest and started typing it the week I came out.
That's what Ryan Holiday does before he ends his one book. He's already starting the next one. So
yeah,
but that's him. That's amazing. You can write in your head. I don't know how you do that. Well, the usual. Most people know where to find you to listen to this podcast. For those who are just tuning in, you have a podcast called Man Uncivilized. Easy to find.
The Uncivilized Podcast.
It's the Uncivilized podcast.
Yeah.
The book is Man Uncivilized.
Yeah.
Should they find you on Instagram or should they?
Yeah, you can go to Instagram at Traver Boehm, TraverBoehm, or if you want to get 28 Days in Darkness, go to manuncivilized.com/28 days, and you can get it there. And we have some freebies and giveaways there as well.
Brilliant. And get Man Uncivilized too. That's a field manual. That's a must for sure. And get to the retreat. Get to the men's initiation. It's promise you worth every cent that you pay and more.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Well, I hope we can do this again soon.
Anytime, man.
It's brilliant. Love it. You're doing good things for the guys in the world.
Thank you.
Going.
Appreciate you.
I hope your last hurrah with the women's retreat goes well.
Yeah, thank you.
You're a brave soul, but I think they're going to get something from it.
They will,
because you got the as I say, the Jedi Council was there, so it's going to be. All right. Well, I'll see you soon. You have something coming up if you've done the Nice Guy course, right? You're doing a webinar.
Yeah, I've got one in Denver in November, a live event called Kill the Nice Guy, and we go deep. This isn't dating tricks and tips and shit like that. It's how do you as a man start to live in an authentic way that challenges what you said, attachment versus authenticity, and teaches you how to get attachment through authenticity.
There you go.
And it's a game changer, man. I've had guys' lives radically shift after 3 days in person.
Awesome. And you get that in spades at the men's initiation. You get to look at that. Cool. Well, I'll let you get back to your next podcast, what we're doing next.
Thank you, brother.
If you want people to come meditate at your house, I will come.
Please.
I used to live
open door policy.
I'm down. I used to live in Boulder, so I know my way around.
Love to have you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, man.
All right. Till next.